Welcome. This is going to be a Q&A session with our reporters for United24 Media. We'll be answering various questions from our subscribers. We'll give everybody the opportunity here to honestly and enthusiastically answer these questions. So, to my left is Zhenia Melnick, one of our longest tenured and most charismatic reporter.
This is a very responsible job. I'm a little nervous.
Usually that's a sign for a good adventure. We are on our way to the positions. Definitely an eventful day.
To my right, Mykyta he is also one of our most tenured and seasoned reporters who's constantly on the front lines.
Everything around us is flying and exploding.
Нормально. Support Ukraine, donate to UNITED24. Thank you so much.
And we have Alex Query, who I consider to be France's greatest cultural export to Ukraine.
Big boy, that's just right. It kills more prey than it can eat.
Recommend yeah.
That's right. How it was?
It's relatively comfortable.
It's good that I'm not claustrophobic.
Welcome, guys.
Hi, Daniel.
Thank you. Greetings.
Pleasure to be here.
And you meant that enthusiastically.
You're doing well. Thank
This is
you.
going to get cut anyways. They're going to cut me out of it. I'm not even going to exist in the frame. I personally couldn't afford membership here. Guess we're doing a little bit of journalist training right now, too.
In real life, they would probably never let me do this right now. This thing is massive. Yeah. Okay, we're back to work.
Hey, I just wanted to take a quick moment for some gratitude. Don't mean to mess up your podcast viewing experience. And just wanted to say thanks to everyone who subscribed and joined our community. We're going to be making more content and hope to see more people join. So back to the podcast. Let's get things moving. Zhenia, you actually are our most popular one with whopping. We could never, even like a 3-hour episode, we couldn't get through all your questions. Ramon Walther says, Zhenia must have seen many horrible things. How does she keep up the spirit in all that horror? How do you keep that smile?
It's my coping mechanism, first of all. Sometimes I'm not sure if I'm doing that well, but since I'm functioning and able to do my job and I'm like functioning in the society, I think that's good enough. So I just try not to think about my mental health that much, I guess.
Fuck it, we ball.
There's gonna be a lot of editing on this one.
And we're rated R podcast. We're the cool podcast, cool Ukrainian podcast. I got a cool question for our coolest guy who's in a hat and a hoodie. Schmangus 8628 asked, why is Ukraine not better protecting its frontline forces from global attacks with the F-16s? I don't understand by global attacks. I see Ukrainian drones constantly destroying Russian air defenses, but yet it seems the F-16 don't venture near the front line. Well, I mean...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your question. The short answer will be that Ukraine just has too few F-16s in order to come super close to the zero line with them, because the threat is very high to be shut down. Ukraine just uses F-16 in a very certain way. You might have seen some news about this new guerrilla tactic that Ukraine tries to approach with F-16s. So basically, them not being stationed on one airbase that get regularly shelled with ballistic missiles and stuff like this, but they make the F-16 units maneuverable, meaning that they can take off some kind of highway or whatever. So they try to approach this tactic instead of being on the airbase.
What is the one system that the S-300 or S-200 system has just trained on for the last, or just been based on to destroy for the last 50 years? And it's literally the F-16.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex, a question for you from Random Video Editors. And says, how would you get medical help if you and or the camera crew were to be seriously injured by the enemy forces?
There's no way an ambulance can come and just take you out from the position. You're going to entirely depend on soldiers to evacuate you. Also have to count on yourself, and that's why it's also important for journalists who work near the front to regularly do these like first aid kind of classes, just to know how to apply tourniquet, to know how to apply, to put pressure on a wound.
We all go through medical training, and we try to do them more or less regularly. Because if you don't use it, you lose it, something like that. So
Yes.
that knowledge has to be updated and renewed, and just don't be dumb. That's the rule.
Don't do stupid things. And,
Yeah.
that's one of my
924
rules.
media says, don't be dumb.
I mean, a couple of years ago, it was very easy and possible to chill outside of the bunkers for a full day
Yeah.
on the sun, speaking to soldiers, smoking cigarettes. It's not an option anymore due to drones. And don't run around the position thinking that you're invincible. And in that way, don't cause troubles for other. Just basic common sense and mutual respect.
This one goes to Mr. Ilchenko. This is by TJUHL. When you visit the frontline areas, what do you think about the civilians who remain there? Are they a security risk for ZSU soldiers? A burden? A reminder who Ukraine is fighting for? Stubbornness? Dangerous for themselves? Question mark.
It depends on what kind of cities are we talking about. If we talk about, like, for example, Donetsk, and there was already city fights, close encounters, and while we were there, we saw one civilian there on a bicycle. It's a classic one. Like, normally they operate on bicycles, the civilians there. And, he lived in, like, half destroyed house, and he looked a little bit out of his mind. You can pull up the clip of him right now.
Ви звідси місцевий, так?
Да.
Yes.
Хочете вам вийти?
No, I don't.
Ви ждете, так?
Ні,
Oh,
ніколи
I'm
не
just living my life.
в житті вже.
Как жизнь сейчас? Как жизнь? Так.
So.
I mean, it's just painful to see. I don't really care on their, position generally. In Donbass area, there's lots of citizens who were influenced by Russian propaganda for decades. And so some of them truly believe that Russian world is going to come and save them. But again, another example is Donetsk, who has been under occupation for many years. And it doesn't seem that life has gone much better in Donetsk since the 2014 occupation.
Да, 2 недели не было воды.
И, насколько я знаю, сегодня день подачи воды.
Да, в кране 0.
Let's flip this on the other side. I remember you've during 2022, 23, you've went to a lot of liberated areas. Kind of tell me about the other side of the coin.
Yeah, I was first in Balaklia. It was like the first big settlement that was liberated during Kharkiv 2022 counteroffensive, and I think it was the first or second day that it happened. Most likely second. And people then were rather shocked. I spoke to them, and they didn't really understand what happened. Can we trust these people? Who are these? Will the Russians counterattack? Also in Kherson, there was a lot of joy. That was super obvious, and that was it felt like a week-long festival. On the streets of the city, the party wouldn't stop. It was just, crazy emotions. It's very heartbreaking to see what's happening with liberated Kherson now, as Russia is basically using it as a training ground. So also is known as human safari, when they practice their FPV skills or Mavic drop skills just on Ukrainian civilians living in the city. So that is super depressing, to be honest, to see the city that once was so cheering and it was waiting for so long to be under Ukraine, and now it's just suffering. It's getting wiped out in a very sophisticated and, in a bad sense,
deeply
way.
cynical and sophisticated way. Yeah.
Cruel.
Yeah.
Cruel.
I just wanted to add for those civilians who, if they stay or they evacuate, thinking about them, I can only imagine how hard of the choice it is of leaving your home, and probably never getting back to it, or I don't know what's the reality. And you know, I have so many friends that who had to leave Donetsk area, and now they, you know, either in Kiev or other countries at all, and it is very difficult to judge those decisions to stay if you're 80 years old at your dacha, your favorite dacha, or to leave, you know.
Alex, this question's for you from Zoki Pandurovich.
Okay.
How much is MI6 paying you?
That is a very good question. I mean, I just want to check my account right now. No, like the thing is, I'm French. Why would MI6 pay me? Like just what?
Triple agent? Interesting.
Why? Like, so first of all, no, I'm not paid by MI6. I know that's what someone who's paid by MI6 would say. So it's they're confusing people.
You do have
here.
the handsome kind of comb over thing. You do look
I'm
like
French.
a little bit blonde, James Bond.
It's obvious.
I'm French, of course I'm handsome.
No,
That's what you mean.
No, but like, okay, just back to that. I just kind of find it funny how, you know, your Maidan was financed by the CIA, right? And I love how we passed from CIA to MI6. So we kind of like expanded the conspiracy funded kind of thing, and I kind of appreciate this sort of, you know, because it's creativity.
We're going deeper into the iceberg.
Yeah. I kind of appreciate that.
Who's
It's a bit more
who's
sophisticated.
paid by Mossad here? You.
Daniel
There we go.
obviously knows.
So
Thank you. How do Ukrainians feel about the military support from the West?
The Ukrainians are very grateful for all the support provided so far, but obviously, as you can, you know, see, it's not enough, and we would need much more of your support if our ally countries wants us to win this war, of course. Yeah, so that's about it. That's how Ukrainians feel about military support.
That's true. I would, if I may add,
Sure.
is that Ukrainians also would like the West, especially European countries, to understand that if Ukraine fails, then what we have in Ukraine, they will have at their home states. It has to be a collective effort. Otherwise, it's going to be a huge, huge mess.
in the worst case scenario, if Ukraine were to fall, okay, even if right now, say the front line stops at Pokrovsk, yeah, the distance, okay, between like France and say Strasbourg and Pokrovsk is 2,000 kilometers. Yeah, let's say it freezes. The radius of a Shahed is 2,500 kilometers. Right. So basically, even if the front line stops now there and freezes now, Europe, the heart of Europe, is literally in the radius of kamikaze drones. That's a reality, a technical reality that is that you know, people should more or less wake up to.
This is going to be for you, Ms. Malniak, one of your 50 questions. Also, chat, why is everybody asking Zhenia questions? Let's be real.
Because I'm cute.
Didn't hear from me. Whatever N5I asks, I realize that there are many things that defenders need. If force ranked, what would be the top 3?
Well, first and foremost is some rest, I guess. Like that would be a very necessary one, and the rest, I don't. I mean, it's a very wide question. Like defenders, who are we talking about? Pilots or infantry or artillerymen or?
I'm assuming they're thinking like most soldiers, guys in the trenches.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, obviously, with the help of our allies, our soldiers are fully equipped. They have food in the trenches. They have weapons in the trenches. So I think this basic equipment, and I don't know, like the guns. I'm not talking about artillery guns, but just the rifles or machine guns. As far as I know, we have drones. Obviously, we have, but we always need more, and that's what anyone would tell you. Like just like with the same with ammunition, any commander will tell you we have. But we need more. Same with drones. We need more.
Yes.
But yeah, I think ammo, drones, and some rest and rotation for our soldiers, because fighting in trenches for almost 4 years, it's very exhausting. Yeah.
Mr. Ilchenko.
Yes, sir.
Jason Kim dash P2X is asking, you have never been so close. This is not asking, he's telling you. You have never been so close to the action. Stop playing War Reporter. Shots fired. literally and figuratively. So tell us, Mr. Fake War Reporter, can you dodge the allegations?
Unfortunately, there's only footage that can, they can show that I was close. But no, we get a lot of comments like that, and I guess it goes with the profession. It's something that all of us have to withstand. So
Amer Levy 3716 says, "Thank you for your great work. We are the Syrians with you. My question is there still a military formation available for those outside Ukraine who wish to volunteer to fight alongside you? Not you specifically. Slava Ukraini."
Heroям Slava. Well, yeah, we definitely have several formations for the foreigners. Starting with the DIU, which is Main Directorate Intelligence International Legion. They actively recruiting as well as separate brigades or corps now, like 3rd Assault Brigade, which is now a corps, or Azov, or other brigades. They recruit people as well as foreigners. There are tons of options, and we need people. So if you are thinking about it, just do yourself a favor, Google it, or maybe we will leave some couple of links below. And yeah, don't hesitate.
Superflyers 148 asks, "Why is your media wearing black instead of blue? Did Ukraine and Russia come to an agreement that press would wear black instead?"
Blue definitely makes you a target, a very visible target from a side. That's 100% sure. You also have to take into account that even if you're wearing black, you will be a target for Russians as a journalist. Today, the situation on the battlefield is that sometimes in certain villages you have to take off even your press sign. But yeah, for the black thing, I also think it's more stylish than blue personally.
For
but
sure.
That's a very personal
Absolutely.
opinion.
I've never seen you in any other color than black, and I would only assume that you would only wear all black, even if your life depends on it. But you look great, Alex.
Thank you.
You are our UNITED24 style icon 2025. Our subscribers have voted. The fans have voted. You are
Okay.
the
Next
hottest
question.
reporter.
I just want to add that from what I've seen, the Russian correspondents, they don't tend to use any type of blue or black vests or uniform at all. They just wear multicam or stuff like this. So they just look like combatants.
Yeah, they just blend in with it.
Schmangus 8628. I hope that's the pin for your credit card, because I'm going after you for that name. I'm taking you for all you're worth, Schmangus. He asks, how effective is it to have 1 or 2 soldiers guarding against drones with shotguns?
It's actually a very new kind of concept that both sides, Russia and Ukraine, started to use to have some protection from the optic fiber drones, because the electronic warfare cannot interfere. It would prove to be pretty effective. So the unit I was with, they had to come up with new routes a lot of times while flying to some targets, because they would know that some mobile groups like this with shotguns, they are stationed there, and they are kind of very effective with just shooting down this drone. The nets, the corridors covered with the nets, and these mobile groups, it is very primitive, but it's for now the only right decisions that shave down some of the risks of being targeted with specifically optic fiber drones.
This one is from NKE Mosai -R4G. What is the reason Ukraine has refrained from attacking Russian civilians and residential areas, even as Russia has relentlessly inflicted severe and punishing damages to civilian life and property all over Ukraine?
Well, more personal answer is like that we are not just animals. I don't know. I mean, it's not in our interest to terrorize Russian civilian population, to make them capitulate or do whatever our side wants. It's not our goal. It never was. We basically are not interested in any influence over Russian people, aside for Russian government, just to stop this war. And second, there is Geneva Convention that prohibits strikes on the civilian population just because we are not Russians, and it's prohibited by international laws, as funny as it sounds, as ironical, because so far international law was not in favor of Ukraine whatsoever.
To add to the topic, during the recent trip that I had filming, again with the unit using the optic fiber drones, drone operator, he saw some civil car. The probability of this civil car being really with the civilians inside is very low, but still he decided not to target it.
No one is interested in killing Russians, no matter how much we don't like them, dislike them. It's not our goal. While Russian Federation proved multiple times that it's just basically their strategy to like bomb people into submission, to terrorize them.
In the meantime, Ukraine attacks refineries.
Radius2589 says, my question is, what was your scariest experience in Ukraine?
Yeah, it was my first FPV that I heard. I don't know if it was flying. The thing with the FPV, you don't wait to see whether it's flying towards you or towards someone else. You just, the rule of thumb is then when you hear this very distinctive sound, you run. So yeah, that's several meters that I flashed to the bunker was, it felt like eternity. Yeah, that was scary. Sometimes you don't feel scared because you're very concentrated on how to survive. And then when you open the footage, you're like, holy shit, I could have just died like so easily now.
I think it was a while ago. It was a couple of years ago. I was doing something about torture chambers in liberated territories around Kharkiv. Go around, take a few pictures and whatnot, especially of an abandoned factory that was used as a torture chamber. Before going there, I could feel something would go wrong somehow. You kind of feel it in your gut that like the day's going to be weird, you know. We heard that, you know, very specific sound of the mortar coming in. It's like whistling and stuff like that. Just basically coming in maybe like 100, 200 meters from us, begin to run. I remember being like sort of surrounded by Ukrainian soldiers, just big bearded guys, and weirdly hiding under a table. You know, it's because you always have a weird pose in such cases, and being like, that's how I'm gonna die. You know.
One experience that stood out is when in 2023, in the beginning, with Mr. Kolya, our operator, we went to the forest in the Luhansk region, and I remember it was just like 1 month since I got my driver's license. The operator Kolya, he was filming. I was driving the whole way. And we went really deep in the forest and ended up on a pretty civil car, in very close to the front line. I realized that I popped the tire, and after driving like 50 more meters, I had to park in the forest. And while we stopped, the guys we were with, they were combat medics, and they got a call for evacuation of wounded. And so since we didn't film much, I told Kolya to leave with them to film the evacuation and stay there with the car by myself in the forest under shelling, and I never changed the tire before. and I completely didn't know how to do it. So there was, of course, no internet connection, no anything.
Everyone on YouTube.
The only thing I realized I can do how to learn to change a tire, I found this the book you have in the car, fourth book, and I opened it in the forest under shelling and start looking for something about the tire. But after like 5 minutes, I realized that it's not gonna work. So I just and the shelling kept getting more intense, and so I went and found some dugout with some National Guard guys who are just drinking tea there regularly. And I just sat with them for a little bit, drank some tea, and then asked a guy politely, like, "Can you? I have a problem. Can you help me out? Like, because it's really like very crucial for me to solve it." Yeah, so he went, and I actually have a video. I just put an iPhone to film in case we die.
Nice.
So yeah, there was a lot of shelling, and the guy helps me to change the tire, but we got out, thankfully.
I just want to add maybe, because you quoted Kolya and quoted Diego and all these guys. It's always good to have people with nerves of steel around you, and we're really lucky in this. I have to say, the operators here are,
Yeah, I mean,
they're freaking solid.
Our lives collectively depend on each other. It's more than you need to do your job properly. You realize that whether I trust this person with my life or not. And obviously, like the first couple missions, you don't know that for sure, but after several, you do, and that's very important. And that's this like friendship that we build towards working and experiencing war. It's not just about getting yourself in dangerous situation. When you work in the war zone, it's you also sometimes celebrate some successes. You hear the stories of soldiers, and it's this experience. I cannot compare it to anything in the world. Even like with some friends of mine who I've been friends for like 15 years. This intensity of what we experienced like with guys in 3 years is so much just higher and denser.
Like the high rate of bonding, how quickly you can.
Yeah, I agree. I think for years to come, we're gonna have these shared memories that very little % of people can have in their lives, or thankfully or unfortunately, I don't know. But yeah, the bond within the team is very deep because of the things we have to go through together, and find it pretty important.
I love you guys.
Same.
I love you guys too.
So that pretty much concludes our session. If you have any more questions or you feel like you enjoyed this format, go into the comments, let us know, and let us know if you want us to come back and do another one. But for now, bye.
Thank you, guys,
Thank
and
you.
thank you, Daniel,
viewers.
for
And thank you, Daniel,
for being.
hosting it.
Let's give Daniel a round of applause. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. We just want to say big thank you to all of our subscribers and our members. There's genuinely not enough space on the screen to put everyone's name on here, but we want to say that we love you and we see you. And just because you're here, it's probably just you and me talking right now. And I just want to say, maybe you want to like, subscribe, and also join our community if you haven't already. We'd love to have you, and we love you. I love you. That was the best take.